Let her rip.
Short question. The analog source, the turntable and the combination you are using here, was it your choice from the beginning or a suggestion?
Here,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what turntable it is. To set
I know that you.
It's an Air Force 5, Technos Air Force 5. It's a nice table, and they had a Graham Elite on it, but the Elite got damaged in shipping from wherever they had it.
Oh yeah.
I went to set it up, and the arms it wouldn't move, so that I unscrewed that has an inverted bearing. I unscrewed it, and the cap was still on it. The blue cap that protects the bearing was still on it.
Still on.
Because it was shipped.
But anyway, it was damaged.
Even though, so I took that off and put it back in, and the whole thing moved. So I had a full house there.
Was it cantilever or?
No, I mean it was
the whole
the
thing,
bearing and the arm.
The body itself.
Fortunately, they had a Grand Phantom back there, and this is while I had a full house.
Okay.
I told them jokes. You want to hear a good joke? Okay, Amar Bose and Paul Klipsch meet on the street.
Okay.
So Paul Klipsch goes, Amar, how you doing, man? And Paul Klipsch and Amar goes, I'm doing great, man. How are you? So that's a joke only audiophiles get. But it took up some time while we waited for the arm to be installed.
Okay. So my second question is that I meant to do with that because I know your work. I know what you've been doing. I've seen you several times all around the world. Here in the Acustica some years ago also. That means you start from the point that when you look at a turntable is a set of components. So it has mechanical parts, and it has also, in terms of performance, it has, of course, the audio performance.
Yeah.
So you can manage to get to the point where you can optimize the audio performance starting from scratch.
Yeah, don't use the word scratch.
Yeah. Sometimes it scratches.
Yes,
but hopefully you don't scratch the record.
Exactly.
That means it's you have an universal way of approach to
Of setting it up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're universal.
I like to use real tools. I don't like software-based setup. I think real tools.
Yeah, that's a good thing because that's another point I have.
Yeah, I like the Wally tools. My mentor in all this was Wally Malowich, who passed away about 5 or 6 years ago. He taught me everything I know. We've come a great distance from what he knew. And J.R. Boykler, who runs Wally Tools now, is a fanatic, and he's learned a lot of new stuff since then. So I try to keep up with what he's up to. I don't agree with everything that he thinks, but most of it, yeah. So he gets a little deep in the weeds. But, the basics. Overhang, zenith angle. Yeah. Although we're learning now...
VTA.
We're learning now that the way the cartridges are made, when they put that stylus into the cantilever, this angle can be off by 16 degrees.
Yeah, it can be.
And then
exactly. Yeah.
Everything's off the table. I mean, nothing's going to work.
Uh-huh.
So it's a whole mess. But they're trying to work on that now and fix it. He thinks he has a solution to that problem. But for now, what I tell people is it could be off by even the manufacturers of these cantilever stylus assemblies say their tolerance is 4 degrees in either direction. So let's assume that your cartridge was built to spec. It's still out of spec. So what you should do is set it off 4 degrees. And so JR says, take the inner null point, play a mono record, and go 4 degrees off in that direction and listen to it. Go 2 degrees off, go parallel to the hash marks, and go all the way across, and you'll find the place where it's perfect. You'll hear it. He says, everybody who does that can hear it. I've never done it, but, On the other hand, I tell people, if you spend thousands of dollars on a cartridge, send it to him and let him do the analysis of the cartridge, and he'll send you back a gauge that will have you set it up perfectly. If you're spending $5,000, $8,000 on a cartridge, go the extra $500 to get it set up correctly. It's worth it. Because you'll hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Did you by any chance manage to know the Garrett brothers, for instance? Garrett brothers, the guys from Australia.
Oh, I have. Yeah, I never met them, but back in a long time ago, they
started 80-something.
Yeah, they rebuilt
or 86.
Yeah, it's a horrible story. But they rebuilt
the way it handed. Yeah.
They rebuilt a Adcom cross coil low output cartridge for me that I still have. That's had very few hours on it.
Oh, that should be similar to the one they sent me, but disappeared at the customs.
Oh
my God! It was really for me because at the time I was working with them and I was having a small business,
Yeah.
selling garage. And I had the P77, which still is famous.
Oh, but yeah, very famous.
Yes.
Sure.
And then they made exactly an MC, a very special MC, very low output. They described everything. It was really perfect. But then I waited for it and tried to discuss with them what happened. At the time, there was no internet, there was no email, nothing.
Right.
So there was phone, there was letters coming, going, and disappeared. But now that we are talking about that, you heard that cartridge, of course. What were you feeling? Because I never managed to hear it. I just remember very well the
I
P77.
haven't played it that much. I just think it's some special thing. I don't want to.
Yeah, that was my idea too. I'm going to get something, and after that it happened.
Yeah. Plus,
Terrific part of
I have so many cartridges coming in to be reviewed. I don't have time to even play with that cartridge. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But
I know. I had that trouble. Now there is not that much, but years ago I had that trouble.
Yeah.
I have the Supreme, the the Headlight one Supreme.
Yeah.
PC1 Supreme.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, that one, and also the Grasshopper.
The one above
from Van der Nul.
Oh,
The
Colibri?
Calibri,
yeah.
Grasshopper Calibri.
Yeah.
But then, exactly like that, I keep, when I put one of them there, it's already fantastic.
Yeah.
But changing then, it will be, I don't have the time for that because whenever I think about that, I have, okay, you have to try something different.
Right.
And I keep doing it all the time.
I get it.
So it doesn't matter how many you have there or
No.
you don't manage to listen to them in the end.
There's so many I want to listen to, but I can't. Like, I finished the Analog Relax 2000, the big one, and I got my notes.
I have that one.
I haven't. It's $20,000.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to write it up yet, and the woman that sent it to me called me while I was here and said, "Where's the review, honey?" And I said, "I'm getting to it."
I'll get there. Don't worry.
It'll happen before there's an Analog Relax 3000. Don't worry.
In terms of tuning or setting up a set, the arm, the cartridge, the record player, the turntable, which part do you think is the more important
Between what and what?
for the final result?
You mean which part of the setup is?
Yeah, exactly.
Boy, they're all critical.
Uh-huh.
If your overhang is off, it's a problem. If your zenith angle is off, it's a big problem. If your stylus rake angle and VTA is off, they're all big problems, and you can hear all of them. And if the azimuth is off, they're all big problems. You got to get all of those things right. But when you get them all right, you get results that you don't hear artifacts. You don't hear a stylus going through the grooves. You just hear the music.
The music.
I made a lot of vinyl transfers to digital, and I have an Astlin current digital player, 9624 files. And the first time I took that on the road with me, I said, okay, I'm going to play these files. The earphones are in my ear. I'm going to hear this style. I'm going to hear it. But you don't hear it if it's done right. It's amazing.
Yeah, I made that also, a few of them. And if you listen to really good ones, it's just the recording and nothing else. There are no artifacts, nothing.
That's right.
If everything is correct.
I give my transfers to the DAC people at shows, and they put the files in their computers, and they play my files, and they don't say they're from vinyl. And dude, man, your DAC sounds great. Wow, that's the best version of that. I walked into a room, they were playing, excuse me, Ricky Lee Jones Sub Pop from a really good version of that from tape. And the guy goes, "That's the best version. I've never heard Sub Pop sound that good. What version is that?" He said, "Oh, I don't know. It's a file I got someplace." It was wonderful.
You could say it's from Peter McGrath, for instance, that he has a lot of them. He has several files that he got from special places. They sound magnificent.
Yeah.
Usually they use them with.
I have a stick here full of them I gave to Ricardo to put onto the DCS server.
From one of your recordings?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
They sound good.
Okay. So now regarding another point, which is the price of things. Can you comment on the recent launch, for instance, the cartridge from Clear Audio, asking 25,000 euros for that?
Is it?
Because when I looked at that, I was supposing that the PC one, Supreme, was already expensive, but this one is double the price.
You know, it's very difficult to value what these things
Yeah, exactly.
are worth.
This is
I know
the main point.
that if the cartridge has the Obre one-piece lab-grown diamond with the stylus that's integrated into the cantilever,
Directly.
the cost of those is about $3,000 just to get the stylus.
Oh.
So if that's the cost of those, and you take the average of 5 times the cost of of a part, right away it's $15,000 at retail just for that part. But Audio-Technica sold their MC 2022 with that cantilever for $9,000, and that was a deal. And it's a phenomenal cartridge. And I bought the review sample. I had to have it, and Harry Weisfeld from VPI bought 5 of them. It was limited edition.
Whoa.
And you know, I wanted to buy a second one, but aside from the fact that I didn't have a spare, whatever I got discount, it still cost me $5,000 or $6,000 to spare. There were none left by the time I was looking to see if there was none, because it's a great card. And I've heard other cartridges that use that same stylus, and yeah, and so Audio-Technica was almost selling it at a loss, because
Yeah, it gets to that point.
if that part alone cost them that much money, and they were selling the cartridge for like $9,000, there's no profit in that.
Also the same regarding turntables. We have a lot of manufacturers that 4 years they didn't have any turntable. Then suddenly they launched one with a final cost of 2,050 euros, 1,000 euros.
Yeah. Well, there's inflation and everything. It's also what the market will bear. You know, the first
Exactly.
they get $10,000
That's one point that
cartridge.
we see, for instance, in Munich.
Yeah.
It's easy to see that many Oriental dealers going there
Yeah,
and asking for higher prices. I've seen that.
that's right.
I've seen that with Victos. And
You know,
that's cheap for me.
I mean, Griffin,
You have to increase the price, because if not, I cannot sell.
yeah, Griffin made their own version of the Ortophon Diamond, and so their version has a DLC coating. So it's already an amazing body, you know, sort of titanium selective laser melt body, but they put a DLC coating on it, which hardens it even more. And they devised their own elastomer, and they have their own tuning of it. And theirs is $20,000. It's an amazing sounding cartridge. That's all you can say about it. And you can say, well, if $20,000 is too much money, so get a cartridge that sounds that good for less.
Cartridge that's the other way to look at things. Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden, a Lyra Atlas Lambda SL for 11,000 sounds like a bargain. It's half the price, and it's certainly competitive.
It may be, exactly.
And these prices are crazy, and yet there's great cartridges for way less money too. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You can find that. Yeah, easily. Yeah. So one further point that I think it's interesting, because we all know that 83, everyone said, okay, vinyl's dead. And then we have it at the place it is now. Still moving, well, for different reasons, maybe people buying it for decorations or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't buy that.
Yeah, me neither. But anyway,
there's a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's a small fringe.
Yeah,
market.
really.
So,
The people that hate vinyl will always come up with reasons. It's not real. This is a fake. It's a bubble. It's going to burst. It's not bursting.
No, yeah, exactly.
People are invested in it now, and they love it.
Yeah,
And they love
like
it. It's a thing. It's
like it for what it is, not for decoration
Exactly.
or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. You know, it's not going away. The numbers keep going up. The records are too expensive. Okay, they're not cheap, but it's expensive to make records and ship them and everything else. And the young generation loves them now, and there's a lot of reasons why. They love the sound, they love the packaging, they love the fact that they can take a record out of a jacket and play it, and when they open their phone, it won't be there. No one's tracked that they played a record.
Exactly.
Like, this is something I want to do, and it's my own business, and you don't know anything about it. So
My record player is not telling where I am.
Exactly. That's a novelty for them.
Exactly. That's a strong point. Yeah. Yeah. Regarding that, so do you think there is still a great future for vinyl? Going on, great future in terms of the format keeping moving for I don't know how many
Getting better?
yeah well getting better I don't think so but
yeah,
keeping alive in the market getting still the attention of people.
Yes.
Yeah, you think
yeah.
it will keep like that for
Younger generations get it and they like it, and their friends get it and they get together and they play and they get their first turntable and they go crate digging and they go to a used record store and it's a great experience. I mean, you know, I have a nephew who's he's a very wealthy guy now. He wasn't into music that much. He was an art collector and he's got modern art all over his house, and he was the CEO of Activision Blizzard, the video game company, and it got sold to Microsoft for $60 billion. So he's doing well.
okay
And actually, I bought the stock to support him. I told him when he was younger. I said, Bobby, video games are going away. It's not a good thing to be into. Of course, I was wrong. I was just wrong. He did very well, but once the stock got sold, I did well too. So I was able to buy the Wilson Benish turntable that I reviewed. That was stupidly expensive.
yeah it was at the
But
time,
I had the money, and my accountant said, you could put it in the bank, you could put it into the stock market. You're doing okay as it is, but you can't play the market. You can't play the money. You can't play. You love the turntable, just buy it. You're not going to lose money on it. It's got your name on it. You know, you'll sell, if you need to sell it at some point, you'll get your money back. But meanwhile, you can enjoy the sound of it, which I do. So I'm very lucky like that. But so at one point he went to David Geffen's house. His friends are in that milieu, and they had a record party, and everybody had to bring a record. And of course, he didn't bring a record because he didn't have any records. And he watches these people, each person, and they were a lot of fit. Norman Lear, and this is years ago, and they get up and they talk about their record and where they got it and what it means to them, who they were dating, and who they were sleeping with, and all the stories because they had the record there and it brought back all these memories. And people in the party were having a great time. Then they put the record on and play it and enjoy it. And after that, he called me and he said, I think I should get a turntable.
there's something special about that.
I think I should get two systems, one for one house and one for another house. So I got him two modest systems, a pair of Wilson tune tots, because the artwork could be on the floor, but the speakers had to be on a shelf. Well, that's his, that's what's important to him.
Yeah.
But nice speakers on shelves. I got him a Riga Planer P10, and I got him I think a Parasound, a nice amplifier. Not not an expensive system.
Yeah. I think
But
nothing
for him
fancy.
it was nothing.
Yeah.
And he enjoys it now. And he flew me out to Chad's place to buy records.
Wow. Okay. So you have one.
So the market will always expand. That's right.
One converted guy.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. But I think there's room for the market to expand and expand and expand.
What do you think about reading of records using, for instance, like the Finial turntable did years ago? I saw in Munich 2 years ago one more evolved version of that turntable that was reading with a laser and trying to get back the information and all that.
Well, the laser turntable's been out
But
for...
I didn't hear any more about those Japanese guys. I don't remember their names that were in Munich 2 years ago. So I'm not sure if that there's any future in that.
Yeah, laser turntable came out decades ago, and they've improved it and improved it and improved it.
Yeah.
And in fact, I was at the World Trade Center of June before it got bombed to a demo of the ELP turntable. And it's like, you put the record on, you push it, it goes into a thing, it's more like a CD.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the feeling.
The sound, if the record's not clean, the laser can't distinguish between a dirt ball and a groove. So each dirt ball was like boom, boom, boom. So the record had to be scrupulously clean to play. But you could take a cracked record and put it together and put it in that turntable and it'll play. So it's an archival thing more than I think it's something that you'd want to have.
Not for our field.
No, the fun part is, this is the fun part, having
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's part
the feeling that
it's like the optical cartridge. I respect it. I know what it does that's really good, but to me it's not for me.
So you mean there's something else in between the pleasure. It puts something else in between the pleasure of listening to music.
Well, it's a different way of playing record.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a stylus in a groove, and it's
Then you have an electrical signal coming out immediately, and you transfer, and then you amplify, and then
it modulates the groove just like a regular record, but it's very lightweight, so it's fast, it's dynamic, and it's quiet. But it's a different sound than a cartridge, and to me, I'm a old school purist. That's all.
Yeah, me too. So.
But some of my writers love it, and they reviewed it and they love it. And I would never tell somebody what to write, or never say, well, I don't like it, so I'm not going to review. Publish it.
I could describe it as a bit like vinyl streaming. It sounds to me, in the end, it sounds to me a bit, because that's also why streaming sounds to me very, easygoing, blah, 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 but then when it gets to getting to your soul, it doesn't work that much.
No,
it's okay, it sounds nice, everything is perfect maybe, but something is missing.
Yeah, well, it's not, what can you say? I like streaming, I like to find new music.
Me too, you're streaming every day.
And it's like, I digitize things and put them up on my Rune, and I can compare cables, I can change cables and record it, and it's good enough to compare.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. And I use Qobuz, and it sounds good.
Yeah, Qobuz.
But if you compare Qobuz to Tidal, it sounds different.
Yeah.
Qobuz to Tidal to Apple, they all sound different.
Uh-huh.
And then
the one I like more is Qobuz. It's the one I really find more natural. Yeah, because all of them have some kind of DSP in between, all of them.
Yeah,
but it's less intrusive, the one from Qobuz.
And then the streamers all sound different too.
Yeah. Also,
exactly.
The same recording, everything sent by the recording company, everything exactly following all the rules. And then you sit, not exactly the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can't explain it.
But the good record sounds like a good record.
That's right.
Finished.
That's right. We're on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Well, thanks a lot, Michael. It's really nice talking to you once again. And I got many more good impressions from someone who really knows about vinyl.
We hope we keep going for a long time.
And I hope I'll keep listening to my records also for quite a long time.
Me too.
Perfect.
And I know somebody's going to get a really good record collection one day. So.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too soon.
Getting there. Step by step. Good. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Once again.
Thank you.
All the best to you. Enjoy the rest of your time in Lisbon.
I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I wish I could stay.
Will be in Munich?
Of course.
Of course.
The last Munich. Come on.
Exactly. The
Oh,
last Munich.
The last.
Not the last show.